Home Office have sent this letter to some migrants in the UK, and some they've given them up till 31st of December to leave the country, some till January, and so on. So this is just a solution to this letter that Home Office have sent to you. If you're one of those, or you know anybody Home Office have sent this letter to, like and share this video with them so they know what next to do. I had to even call the lawyer that even told that this is the only option for them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless you. If you're new to this channel, I create content on UK immigration updates, jobs and visa sponsorship in the UK, I'm in the UK, scholarships in the UK, like everything you can think about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested in such content, do subscribe and join our beautiful family, and also do like and share this video with your friends and loved ones. A lot have received this letter I'm about to share with you from Home Office, and for a long time I wasn't seeing people with these letters because the top Home Office have given up. They are no more sending letters to people to leave the country. But you know, the Home Office, sometimes they can be very slow in their decision. In as much as they are slow sometimes in making their decision for you, if you know you already have a problem in the UK with your status, start sorting it out. So when the Home Office remembers you, you will not have a panic attack, because a lot have received this letter and in their mind, oh, I didn't know that Home Office are still going to send me this letter, blah blah blah. So just as you can see on my screen, for data protection purposes, of course I'm not going to leave the name of this person on the screen. Your permission as a student has been cancelled, so that it now ends on 31st of December 2024, which is next month. So imagine someone just receiving this week and they have till 31st of December to leave the country. So what this means for you, you still have permission until 31st of December 2024, and the current condition of your stay will continue to apply until then. Please ensure that you comply with these conditions. You now have until 31st of December to either leave the United Kingdom or make another application to stay. You do not have a right of appeal or administrative review against the decision to cancel your permission. If you leave or are already outside the common travel area, the UK, Channel Islands, the Isle of Man and the Republic of Ireland, before 31st December 2024, your permission will end immediately and you will have to make a new application to re-enter the UK. Now, this is as a result of someone who came to study in the UK and stopped studying. Like we know, a lot of people have moved to the UK in the name of study, and when they face the reality, they are not able to do it. Now, if you're overseas and you're planning to migrate to the UK and you know that your mind is not set to study in the UK, you just want to enter the UK, please don't do that, because the rules have changed. The rules of switching while studying changed last year, July 17th or thereabout. Now, even before that rule change, it just lasted for like 6 months, because I remember when I came into study, we were not even allowed to switch until we have completed our studies. Early last year, they said, okay, if you're a student, you can switch even before completing your studies. But now, the rules have changed. It lasted for only 6 months, and they say you can no longer switch. And for those that say, oh, if I just want to enter the UK through that route and just know how to, do my stuff, you cannot switch. You cannot switch if you have not completed your studies. If any employer gives you a COS even before your studies is completed, they are going to be in problem, because you know what the Home Office is doing now. They check and they will assume that employer has taken money from you. They look at for when you're supposed to complete your studies, and they can issue the COS provided it's less than 3 months from when you're supposed to complete your studies. So don't even think about it. As you can see, reason for this decision, which I want each and every one of us to know. I have like 3 of these letters from different people, and they've got different dates to leave the UK. Now, as you can see, you were granted permission as a student under the immigration rules. Your permission has been cancelled because you have stopped studying with University of... On 1st of August 2024, your sponsor notified the Home Office that they had withdrawn their sponsorship as you have stopped studying with them due to deferring your studies. Now, it is not considered that the circumstances in your case are such that discretion should be exercised in your favor, as University of Fajira Higher Education Corporation notified us that sponsorship was withdrawn because you were no longer studying with them. I am therefore satisfied that you have ceased to study and that your permission should be cancelled pursuant to Part 9.6 one day of the immigration rules. Your permission is therefore cancelled from the 1st of December 2024. Next steps, what you have to do if you have received this letter now, you must now do one of the following before your permission ends. Tell us any other reason you think you should be allowed to remain in the UK by making a new application to stay in the UK. Seek help and advice on returning home. Leave the UK. Now, because this person has not completed their studies, any other category of visa they want to apply to be the main applicant will not work out for this person. When I saw this letter, I understood it that way. I said, but let me get an immigration lawyer involved. And he also went through and was like, Fajira, this person has to go back. Or if the person has a dependent, the same thing I told this candidate was what the immigration lawyer told me. So they have to go back, because if they don't go back, there are lots of consequences. Consequences of staying in the UK unlawfully are also on the letter, which I will film in my future video. Now, the second letter, exact same letter but different date for another candidate, is you have permission until 19th January 2025. So this second person has until 19th of January 2025. So as earlier mentioned, that if you have come to the UK to study and you have not completed your study, except you're doing a PhD and you have studied for 24 months, on that note, you can switch to another category of visa that will allow you stay in the UK and also continue your study. But if you came for a master's, just like this candidate who have sent me their letters, the other one is 19th January. The third one, I think hers is on the 2nd of January or so, to leave the country. If you are one of those and you have a dependent, now what the lawyer told me was, if you have a dependent who came with you, who is your wife or your husband, they can seek for a skilled worker visa that permits dependent, not a care worker visa, because we know the care worker visa does not permit dependent. So even if they apply for the care worker visa, you cannot depend on them. So they have to look out for another skilled worker visa that will allow dependent. So once they're able to get that skilled worker visa, you cannot depend on them. On that note, you can still apply based on the fact that you have your partner, your wife here, and your husband here, and you're depending on the person. As you can see on my screen, the requirements for a student to switch, you ought to have completed your studies. And if you have not completed your studies, no employer, like I said, no employer will want to risk their organization to give you a COS or to employ you and sponsor you. So the best thing for you to do is either you depend on your dependent, but just in case you came to the UK without a dependent, you came by yourself, you've received this letter, do not stress so much. If you have a company that wants to employ you in the UK, just tell them that you have to go back to your country. If they can give you the COS when you get to your country, or they can assign it. Remember, the COS is valid within 3 months. It has to be assigned when you have left, or give it to you. Then you go back to your country and reapply for a skilled worker visa and come back to the UK. Yes, I understand that this can be very expensive, but you don't want to stay in the UK as an overstayer. And let's say maybe you use a solicitor to apply for your visa, to use it, and at the end of the day, you don't get the visa. You have become an overstayer. And once you become an overstayer, even if you go back that time and want to come again, there may be a 10 years ban, and you may not be able to come to the UK. So please, for everyone who have asked, for those who have sent me theirs, for those who are yet to send, if you're watching this video, please like and share with them, because they need to know this. In as much as you have not completed your studies, it is not possible to switch as a main applicant. The UK rules can be very strict when it comes to things like this, especially when you have come to the UK that you're coming to study, and all of a sudden you pause studying. They will suspect that, oh, you just wanted to use the opportunity to cross to the UK and you have to go back. So guys, please, this is a letter that a lot have been panic about. Some people have got panic attack. Some people have got BP because of thinking of what next to do. Remember, if you stay in the UK and you're asked to leave so time, and you leave before that time and still want to come back to the UK, you can still come back to the UK. I remember studying in the UK. When I studied, I used to say this, there was no post-study work. I left, I think, a few weeks before the end of my visa. Yeah. I went back, and at the point I wanted to come back to the UK, the doors were still opened for me, and I came back to the UK. Instead of saying, oh, because I don't want to go back, I want to be an overstayer, blah, blah, blah. You don't know the frustration that those that have overstayed are going through. I would suggest you read the consequences of staying back when you have been asked to leave on that second page of the letter you have received. Read it, memorize it, and just look at yourself going through that you're saying police is not talking to you, he's not coming to you, but because you know you have done something wrong, you're always at alert. So don't panic about that letter. Don't panic. Another thing you would have done is speaking to the school. Well, that was what the solicitor told me, that they would have spoken to the school when the school first emailed them, because a lot have had similar issues with their school. I think somebody said she paid less £300-400 on her payment, and before she knew, the school sent her that letter, and it was really devastating. But she went back and she sorted it. So the first thing that happens is the school will send you a letter to say they are informing immigration. But if you step up and see how you can resolve things with your school, I'm sure they will withdraw the letter they have sent to Home Office if they have not sent already. Or if they don't withdraw it, or they will write to Home Office or to say, oh, we've rectified this. So you don't wait to get the one that Home Office have done. Because right now that this letter has come, the visa is already quoted for that 31st of December. And if you don't leave the country before then, or maybe 19th or on the 2nd of January, if you don't leave before then, it's going to be a big problem for you because you have not sorted yourself. So in the future, if you've noticed that you're beginning to have a problem with your school, try to sort it out with your school first. Don't let it escalate, because once it escalates, you may not be able to have control over it again. So guys, this brings us to the end of today's video. Please like and share with your friends and loved ones. I'm sure this is just going to help somebody out there who has received or about to receive or still fighting with the school or having an issue with the school. I know studying in the UK can be crazy. Like, you must know what you're doing. It's not a country that you come and be copying from somebody, especially when you're doing a course that requires you to stay in the hall to write exams. I've written exams in this country and I know how it is. Before you even raise your head, they are announcing your name. Please kindly look into your book, because the cameras are everywhere. So before you move to the UK in 2025, January start or maybe September start, be prepared. Be prepared and let your mind be fixed on the studies you're coming for. So once your mind is there, once you come, you will excel. You will. It's quite easier when your mind is into the study. You will pass with good grades here than where you're coming from. But when your mind is not into the studies, you will have some challenges. I wish you good luck in any decision you make, whether using your dependent, whether getting the COS, international COS, and going back to apply again, or any other means you want to use to legalize your stay. I wish you good luck. And until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye for now.